Hello and welcome to the Eagles Crossing Masters Invitational out at Eagles Crossing in Hawk Point, Missouri. I'm Luke Taylor, joined by...
I'm Robert Burridge. We're out seeing the go-throw stop at Eagles Crossing. This is a very, very tough course and probably one of the best on the planet, both according to UDisc and anyone that I've heard play it.
Yes, one of the toughest properties I've played on, and we have 32 of the elite disc golfers on tour out here. Excited to bring you guys second feature coverage here on Ace Run Pro.
How do you think they're going to get on there?
I'm not gonna lie, I played pretty tough today, so hopefully they did better than me. First here we got Bradley Williams, longtime professional disc golfer, 440 career events. He's been in the game for a long time.
He has been in the game for a long time. Next up we have Anthony Barela, the winner of the long drive competition at the triathlon. I'm excited to see how he breaks down this course.
Yeah. Next up we got the smooth lefty, Austin Turner. Been playing disc golf for a long time and he's really good. He's a really good disc golfer.
Fresh off a good finish as well at Music City. Last up we have Väinö Mäkelä, Team Innova. He did really well in the events as well. This should be fun.
Yeah, no, we got a great group of guys out here, some killer disc golfers, and I'm sure they're gonna play well, hopefully, on a very tough track. Hole 1, par 4, 909 feet. Very tightly lined fairway with OB. You got a couple different options on how to attack it. You can push for more off the tee and lend yourself an easier approach into the green, play a little shorter, play a few chip shots, and you can get a par that way. But a lot of OB. Biggest thing is just being mindful of the wind and being mindful of the OB.
As you saw then, it was ranked 3 as the third hardest on the course today with the wind.
Very tough.
Give it up for Bradley Williams.
Let's go, Brad.
My guess would be he's throwing a destroyer here.
Probably overstable distance driver is the typical play. It's a bit of a left to right wind today, and he hangs this pretty wide, but he gives it good height.
He gives it very good height, so it's going to swing in. The grass is very, very thick as well, so once it lands in, it usually stays in.
Yeah.
To us from Arizona. Up next on the card, give it up for Anthony Barela.
All right. I have no idea what he's throwing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the Adam Hammis Crystal Raptors. I know that's one that he bags and likes to throw a lot. He also throws very far, so... You know.
He does. It looks like he's just lining up a spike hyzer here.
That's a lot of spike.
It looked like a little flip up, so might have been a nuke, but...
Very good shot regardless, right next to Brad. It's right where you want to be.
Right in the center. It looks like they're playing a little short just to make sure they're in bounds and then really attacking on that second shot.
Like I said, smooth lefty, a lot of power, a lot of control, and he's been playing really great on the Pro Tour this year. Really setting a staple for what he wants to be out there this season, and that's just a killer disc golfer. I would assume this is either a nuke or a force out of Austin. Playing a hyzer line, letting the wind kind of drag it back in bounds, and he's done a great job here as well. They're making this look very easy right now.
What you can't tell is that the wind on this first hole really does come off the lake. It's almost a straight headwind, a little bit of left to right, and it's just dropping a lot of hyzers, and that's why we're seeing so many of the righties going high.
Absolutely. Väinö keeps this a little flatter, a little bit lower. But, I mean, that's just how you draw it. You love to see that.
He very nearly hit the stake there, and that's why we saw them giving that height.
Yeah. AV up first. Not something you're going to see a lot today.
Or maybe. It depends how he's playing it. It looks like he's throwing the same disc, so it probably was either a nuke or a venom.
Just a lot of hyzer. And he rips this. That's incredible. That's so hard to do. That's crazy.
That's easily 540 feet on essentially a pure hyzer and a left to right wind.
Very, very impressive shot out of Anthony Barela. Not going to see a lot of people birdieing this hole. Dr. Smooth here.
That's
needs to get up. LB short. Not the mistake that you can make going in this green. If you're going to go for it, you really got to send it here.
And the layup zone, there's a lot more room out left, and so that's why You know,
Very
Austin's starting that
similar
over
line,
that.
Similar line, but stays up. Oh, he's playing it short there.
Guess he's just laying up, and that's that left zone. That's just a nice layup spot.
That's just fine. Just to give yourself an opportunity for the par on hole 1 is just fine. What AB did is very abnormal.
And here's Väinö again throwing the same disc, I believe. So he's probably throwing a destroyer.
Great shot.
Just left. I'm not sure we'll see him run it though. Not in this wind.
No. I would assume that he lays up and takes the par on hole 1. Par is gaining you strokes on the field on this hole.
Playing about a half stroke over par as the third hardest.
Oh, lifted a lot. That's going to be a tough putt coming back.
It looks like he threw a star firefly. So glidey putter. I'm a little surprised he didn't go to a pig or toro kind of.
Right. Something more overstable with less glide.
Into that hillside, yeah.
Austin with the Anthony Barela zone puts it right into the basket.
Absolutely parked. That is going to be a very easy par for him, and he's going to be just fine with that.
Yeah. Väinö, it looks to be running it. Very high bid, and I mean, if you're gonna run it, you got to do it like that on this pin. If you miss it all left or right, it's OB. So
that is the perfect run for this green. Yeah. A very high straight down.
Great putt.
What a putt from Brad.
I mean, at the end of the day, walking off a hole 1 with the bogey's not setting you back too much. A lot of golf to play and a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of birdie opportunities because this course is really tough, but yeah, you know, if there's anybody that can dissect the woods out here, it is Bradley Williams. So great birdie from Anthony Barela there as well.
One of the things we did see was slower starts on this front 9. And so a lot of people are going to be trying to get through this front around even or a couple down and really trying to attack the back.
Yeah.
Next up, we have hole 2, playing as the 8th hardest, just above par. It is a par 4 that has a honestly very attackable tee shot. You can swing a hyzer pretty much as far as you want to, a little bit of flip up if you want. The technical shot does come in on the second shot. It usually plays just about 300, maybe just above. These late trees really get in the way, along with the pond right. The only good thing is you do have an upslope for that second shot, and so you can throw something a little faster than you might think.
Yeah. Very not technical tee shot. Have to be mindful of the wind, but the green is the harder thing to deal with here. What is he doing?
Oh,
respectfully, of course.
Is that flipping?
Is it gonna go all the way?
I don't think so.
No. You don't see anybody throw a shot that left and clear, even if you are Anthony Barela. That's asking a lot.
It looked like it slipped out of his hand a little bit.
That's got to get up.
Oh, is the wind gonna help him?
It is. Honestly, I mean, he didn't look like he was too pleased with it at first, but that's a great tee shot for Austin.
I think he was looking a little bit higher, getting that to swing into the middle. Again, it is windy, but this is the most attackable tee shot, as we see Väinö here. Smoke one down the right. This is exactly what you want it to look like.
As a righty, you just want to be anywhere in the fairway.
And that is nowhere near any OB. He swung it right at that OB line and is in absolute prime position.
And not surprised to see Brad doing the same here.
It is the shot. You want it to get flat upright, and then you're going to have it die into the middle, and you're either going to have a fairway or mid, probably into the green.
Yeah. AB making the good correction here, gives it a lot of height to kind of mitigate the distance. He's got a lot of power, so he's got to play disc golf a little bit differently than the rest of us.
That's a ridiculous shot. Being able to see the green. He does have a little technical of a shot.
He's too far. He's a little too far. He's going to be, like you said, technical upshot, very tricky approach from there.
This is one thing I didn't touch on, is that it is a blind second shot. That's a very nice little nick.
Yeah.
That was going to be close. Kick. It might have swung back.
It could have been great, but he did pull it. If he throws that shot, he knows it's headed towards those trees. So that's the best case scenario for him there.
I think Brad is...
Is this dialed?
It is. Look at that, swinging right into that hillside. That's the backstop I'm talking about, probably 15 to 20 away.
You want your shots to look like that.
I think Brad is one of the best at that shot where it's just smoothing a fairway.
Absolutely. Väinö with the shortest approach into the green.
Still throwing a T-bird, it looks like.
Yep.
Just a little early.
Oh, no.
Sit.
It's just fine. Up and down for par is just fine. Par is the name of the game out here.
One of the things you will see is very sticky greens, very sticky grass throughout this course.
Mm-hmm. What gap could he be lining up here? Smart. That's the right one to hit. and he just plays it right into the hill. That's beautiful.
And that is absolutely perfect.
Great touch out of AB right there.
I'm a little surprised he didn't just throw a forehand around, but I guess playing away from that OB with the backhand
playing
is
into
perfect.
the hill. I think that was very smart out of him. Good approach there from Väinö.
Väinö
Easy
with
par.
very, very, very close par,
Austin doing what many a player would do on this green.
including me.
Yes.
Brad with a
Perfectly
birdie.
played. Perfectly
Exactly how you
played.
want. No, never in really any danger playing center birdie.
Honestly, just fine. AB doing a good job mitigating the damage, getting up and down in 3 shots after the OBT shot was very crucial there.
And that's one of the times that his distance really does help him, because he can get onto that hillside after 2.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's something that not a lot of people will do.
Big Disc Golf doesn't want you to know about this. It's called the band system. That's B-A-N-D. Buy a new disc. Sure, you could spend hours practicing, but you've tried that and you're still back. And at discountdiscgolf.com, the prices are so low, you can band without breaking the bank.
Before B-A-N-D, I was just B-A-D. But now, I own more discs.
So what are you waiting for? Get on the bandwagon today at discountdiscgolf.com, because cheap discs are better. It's science.
All right, hole 3 here, par 4, 795. We have water on the right side, OB on the left. If you clear that, you're chilling. From there, you're gonna have multiple different gaps. Where the drone is flying is where you want to go. Basket up and left. From there, and I mean, you gotta dissect a shot through these trees. So play a low pushing straight shot off the tee, and then probably a shot that's gonna have to deal with a little bit of angles coming into the green. Probably playing right around 370.
Again, we see this tee shot not really being the technical one, and that second shot being almost scramble golf, where you find a way near the basket. I don't mind where Brad's going over there, because that is inbounds, and there's ways up through there.
Safe is important. I worry that he's almost a little too far left, but you will have gaps over on that left side. That's definitely the miss. Austin,
Miss it.
I would assume he wanted a little more push, but as a lefty, it's a tough tee shot. So, I mean, he's done very well to give himself a chance to attack the green.
That spot up there, he actually won't have a main gap, but he might have in around the back gap that I had earlier today. It is very, very technical and very hard.
That is the shot right there. Just short of that tee box is where you need to be to attack this green most head on.
He will have whatever he wants into it.
AB going for the green in 1.
Missing every tree.
That is so good.
Spinning the cameraman again. Looks like he will have a tight gap right in front of him unless he tries to reach out.
Brad not looking like he's interested, but I could be wrong. He's a little interested, I would say.
I think he's interested. Look at that turnover shot. Just
late tree for Brad, but very well done still. You can kind of see that gap from this angle, where you'd want to go.
Here's Austin with that back door, it looks like.
He is hitting it. He was looking for that late turn.
That is the tree. That is the one most in the way in that gap. If that wasn't there, he would have been parked.
You can see from Väinö's perfect tee shot, he's going to have to throw a subtle turnover. Needs to miss that one. He gets by it. Gets
by the other ones. And
so we will say a little lucky, but also a very well executed shot there from Väinö. And
That right there was a cooksy.
he's talking and finish. You know, a skill that many of us wish we had.
especially with Worlds being over there this year.
Dude, absolutely.
I think one of the best things with Väinö there is his angle control was correct, even if his release point wasn't quite there.
Right. He still threw the shot very, very well. And that's a tree. That's what that is.
A tree. He might have a putt from there anyway. It depends how far and what's in his way.
Austin with a long bid. And I'm assuming he's probably still really close. This is right around where I was for my birdie putt, and it's just, there's not an angle for a righty from there. Mm-hmm. I chose to lay up because, yeah.
Looks like there might have been was there a hyzer line around that right side?
Not from where I was, no. Brad
was interested.
He was very interested. I didn't realize his shot got that close. That was very impressive. Just goes to show, Brad's an amazing player when it comes to dissecting the woods and really hitting his angle.
I mean, that's something Brad's always been known for, and it's something that I'm glad to see we're watching here.
Right. AB,
Scoop putt.
recently, and especially starting last year, that was kind of the hitch in his game, running those long putts and then having a tester comebacker, and he's not afraid of those anymore. For him to just be able to step up and knock that down, like, you just give yourself so many more opportunities on tour if you can run a 70, 80 footer without having to worry about the comebacker. So great cleanup there for AB, getting the par and moving on to hole 4.
And Väinö tapping in his birdie.
Great birdie.
Absolutely perfect.
Amazing.
Next up, we have hole 4. One of the easier half of the courses, still playing over par.
Absolutely.
It is a long par 5, a very tight tee shot. You can throw backhand or forehand. Forehand usually plays better with it going up the hill. Second shot, pick your gap and try to get some distance. You kind of just gotta see where you end up, and then attacking this green is very, very formidable with the basket up on that rock with OB 25 feet past.
Not to mention the downslope.
With the downslope. I think that's the play you'll see most players hitting is that forehand,
Needs to sneak, and it does not.
but it doesn't look like it kicks hard, and he's in bounds, so he should be able to salvage a par at very worst.
We hope.
Should.
OB up on the green for sure. Väinö, no. Cannot do that. That's the mistake you cannot make.
And that, I think we're gonna see whether he takes his medicine or tries to push for that birdie.
Right. I feel like this is a very good hole for Austin. It definitely favors the lefty backhand off the box just because you can push so much farther. But that's going to be pinched up on a couple trees. Could be tricky from over there. Still a very good tee shot.
I think one of the things is you don't really need distance on that second if you bite it off on the first.
For sure.
And AB just
Needs to turn more.
Yeah, there's that tree that it looked like it was starting toward.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see some either scrambled birdies, scrambled pars.
Yeah, I think Väinö, best case, if he gets really aggressive, would be a par here, but more than likely going to be a bogey. But you still got to work for it.
Looks like he is throwing a mid here. So really just playing for that center.
Yeah, and he drains, what a gap. Right behind a tree. Kind of
Right next to a
unfortunate,
tree.
but very well hit. Very well executed shot there.
That's all he wanted, and he is in position to get the score he wants at this point.
Brad kind of near where I was, a little bit farther up.
I mean, that's fine. That's a late tree that maybe took off 30 feet, but he's far enough up to be just fine.
Birdie still in play for Brad.
This needs to come out.
I think it's getting down. Yeah. Oh, and the skip,
And
too.
the skip.
You love that. That's a really good shot there from AB.
And he will have still a very technical shot into that green where a forehand does slope down toward that OB and a backhand plays into that hill for a righty.
Austin, I don't think he's really worried about that tree, but the tree behind him is kind of cutting off his run-up, so we'll see how he attacks this shot. Yeah, the tree in front of him is not a factor at all.
Again, another mid second shot. Just getting a little distance, staying
Sit.
controlled.
Yes.
That's where that
Yes.
mid comes in, is just staying a little more controlled.
Yeah. That's a really good spot.
Here's Brad for his third.
If it turns, it's great. If it keeps turning, it's better. Oh. Oh, no. Maybe not.
He must have gotten just onto that path.
Yeah.
That's that OB. So the OB right next to the next tee does jut out just a little bit. It pinches that late landing zone. If you can't get to the basket, you almost have to lay up a little bit closer than you think.
Väinö playing more of a hyzer here to avoid it completely. Definitely just playing for a 6 at this point, I would imagine. I'm not sure how close that got to the basket.
And I'm sure that was a mid-range or putter, and I think the footing and lie had something to do with that as well.
For sure. AB looks like his captain's Raptor, so he's still a little bit of ways away, and he's playing very aggressive.
Inbounds.
Yeah, didn't get the skip he wanted there, but it's a pretty easy par if he chooses not to run that.
And here's Väinö probably taking the same little hyzer, playing into that hillside by the basket.
For sure.
Absolutely the best play because you get that more often than not, getting into that back. So
A 10 out of 10 approach there from Väinö Mäkelä.
absolutely perfect.
Austin looking to do the same here.
That is beefy.
So beefy. If it checks, which it does, opportunity there for
Little death putt.
for the par, or was that'd be for a birdie?
That was for birdie. Little bit of a death putt. And here's Brad getting just into that corner, it looks like.
Sit.
And just
Yeah.
getting right into that. Same thing, just hitting early and getting that little bounce down.
Yeah, that's just fine.
And that is a very smart layup.
Yeah. Oh, he's watching it. He's
Is it?
watching it. He's watching it. Okay. That's fine.
Still a very smart layup.
Yeah. It's the right thing to do.
It is, especially on this screen.
No. And they like to do that, man. These
These-
baskets are really, they catch everything dead center, but if you're a little off, they tend to push them out.
Do we want to take a second and explain the difference in these baskets versus
I think
normal
you
baskets?
I think you do.
So these baskets seem to have some very heavy chains, very cross chains throughout the middle and intersections. However, on the outside, they have slightly lighter chains. The biggest difference that we see is the nubless basket.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it more right after our whole breakdown here on hole 5. Hole 5, another par 5, a tighter tee shot with more trees. OB left, OB deep. Not going to see people go OB deep because they won't. The second shot, this is technically eagleable, but you're going to see a lot of people after throwing either a forehand or backhand, whatever's going to go straight, throw a putter and then another putter into the green. Like I said, is attackable for eagle. I doubt we'll see that for many of our players here on this card.
I think AB, if he's in a good position, will absolutely full send. Same with Austin.
Definitely could. Austin playing a flip up backhand gets a little sneaky.
Sneaky late, but that's the
he's
play.
Loving that. Loving that.
The play is to get through these first gaps and then to have it hyzer right on out. AB throwing backhand with...
No.
Uh-oh.
No.
this gap. So that's, you will see more often than not people throwing
Oh, yeah.
perfect?
Yeah. Yes.
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 More often than not, you will see forehands on this hole. I'm very surprised we're seeing four backhands.
Yeah. For Austin, I get it. Lefty.
For Austin, I get it.
For the other guys, like, in practice, we're just like, forehand. Just get it up into the right.
Do you think that they're thinking about that eagle going backhand, trying to get it flat, getting it hyzering around the corner?
Like
and
you
trying to
said,
get
I
us
could
extra
see
distance?
AB doing it, but I think Brad and Väinö are just really comfortable with that backhand. But I think AB's definitely just doing that because the eagle is running through his head. Especially in a non-sanctioned event like this, pays to get crazy a little often,
It does, as well as you get clips.
That's
So,
so good.
and that is absolutely perfect position for a birdie.
Yeah.
He's going to have a little bit of an upshot, probably a little forehand around that backside into the hill, but very, very simple.
Absolutely. Väinö going mid-range hyzer. I like it with the width that he's put on it. If it's any more inside, though, it can tend to trickle. So,
Absolutely centered as well.
yes, very well executed shot there by Väinö.
Brad looks like he has a little Annie.
Could it be the one? Oh my
it is-
gosh, that's
that's-
insane.
What is that? Is that his,
Holy,
is that his wraith?
What? That's insane, Brad.
And
You
that's
are
a birdie putt.
madman, Bradley. That's an eagle putt.
Nah. Oh, yeah, he was in bounds.
Yeah, that's crazy. What a shot.
And here's AB trying to save par.
He's
Good
going to need
sit.
to earn it, and that's a scary putt, but a
Very
great
scary putt.
shot there from there.
Väinö with a little forehand approach.
I like this. He pulls it a little, but it's fine. I like the forehand into the green. It skipped a little bit more than I thought it was going to, honestly.
He needed that getting into that hyzer range.
So he did have an eagle putt.
He did have an eagle putt.
Crazy.
Here's Brad for eagle.
Please. Oh, no.
He gave it the height.
He didn't leave it short.
I appreciate the height given to it.
Like we were saying, these baskets are nubless, so you're not going to see any, strange snags or great putt for maybe
That is a
amazing
wonderful
par.
putt.
Nutless baskets, so they catch on that rim, they tend to skip a little bit farther, but there's not a whole lot of randomness, and if you hit center low on that rim, they tend to jump in. And like Rob was saying, lighter chains on the outside, heavy chains in the middle. The idea is to try to catch a little bit better on the sides without having the spit outs in the middle, but they still tend to flop out, if you're putting mid-left or mid-right, and as professionals, we know where the misses are and, what we need to do on these baskets to make putts. So great
Absolutely.
birdies here. 3 birdies on the card, correct?
That is 3 birdies and a par for AB.
Yeah, it's great.
Well played hole. Next up, we have hole 6. This is playing as the second hardest hole on the course. Looks like we have number 2 and 3 in this front 9. This is a par 4, very tight tee shot. You'll see either rollers or forehands most likely. And this second shot is just so hard to get anywhere near the basket. I think the only way to really get a birdie that I've seen is a long putt. And I mean deep C2 to mid C2 at closest. And so it's not very long, but the angles you have to throw are ridiculous. And I think Austin probably has the best shot at it simply because he has that lefty line.
And he splits the gap. That's mission accomplished. As any player, I don't think he's going to be able to birdie from there. I personally.
He's kind of pinched up on that hill.
This is a hole that your only objective, I feel like, as a professional on this tee pad is just get out the gap. If you get out the gap, you should have a very manageable par. But what is this going to sit down? It is.
That turned a lot. It seemed like Brad wasn't quite expecting it. Probably a little bit of a flippy T-bird 3 or Valkyrie.
Yeah, something unstable to get that late turn.
Here's Väinö having the exact same miss, just turning a little bit.
I don't even know. I think that's their play, honestly. Or maybe not. Brad was saying something about turning over a lot too or something. So.
I mean, it's in bounds and it gives him a par look. Here's AB with his distance nuke.
I told you this happened.
We were on the next tee watching this happen.
Yeah. And he burned it over. He rolled his wrist on a big 4. Oh, boy. Okay. He's very quick into his shot.
Down. And
it got down, but not the way that he probably wanted it to.
That's still going to be a very, very difficult up and down.
Yeah. Very tricky from there.
That's one where he might be biting off too much and would have been better off just playing out left and then having an angle into the green.
For sure. Oh, no.
You will see roller second shot. That is something that that is very common.
I think the only way for a righty to get the birdie, honestly, is to go roller. Very few people have the power access on the forehand.
Mm-hmm. And we are seeing 3 rollers.
Yeah.
From AB, Brad, and Väinö.
It's a safe play.
And here's Austin going through the middle. There is a gap here, but it is extraordinarily tight.
Like Rob said, there's a gap.
And he hit a tree, which is about right.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that brings in birdie, but also brings in bogey a little bit faster because that approach does get technical very fast.
Hyzer, bro.
And
I think it hyzered, bro.
It is inbounds on that backside. The OB does come in a little tighter than you think. It is about 25 deep.
Yep.
And so if that was a little bit straighter, had a little straighter skip, he might be in trouble.
Technician, is he getting it done here? Absolutely.
Absolutely perfectly.
Absolutely.
And that's something that you just expect Brad to hit every single time.
For sure. Wouldn't have any other player in the world throw that shot.
Austin, a nice little skip up to 15.
Yeah. Like we were saying, par is great on this hole. And you're not going to see nearly enough people get birdies for you to even really consider it.
Do we have the stats on how many birdies there were? Because I'm willing to bet there were less than 5. With 32 players, I'm definitely taking the under. Definitely the under. That was a great par from Brad.
Yes. AB, is this for? Not even sure. Great bogey.
Absolutely wonderful putt at the end as well there.
Great bogey. Tough to do going OB early off the box. Austin for another par. Lovely.
Austin is playing how you need to play this front nine. He's getting the birdie when it presents itself, and then is just parring everything else, especially when we have a little bit extra wind in these very hard front nine holes.
Yeah.
Good par from Väinö as well.
I know a man who did that very well on my card today. His name is Robert Burge.
I did everything I could.
Hole 7, par 3. Says 477 on here, but we are in the shorter position. This shot is 420 feet. Long water carry. Very small amount of room from the front of the bricks to the basket itself. Very technical shot if you're trying to park it, but pretty manageable par if you're just playing it up and to the left. So I would expect to see at least a couple birdies here. The 17th hardest hole in the course, aka second easiest, playing at 0.38 under par.
We did have a little bit of a left to right headwind here, or left to right tail, excuse me, and so you may see a couple players
Manageable par.
do that and just leak it a little bit, trying to make sure they're in bounds. The tree just up left of the basket is about 15 to 20 and is exactly where you want to be.
Brad hangs it wider. This is still going to be a little deep and left.
And that is a
he's
hard putt.
Yeah, he's not running that. And he's certainly not running it
Definitely.
now. Or is he? Is it going to roll back enough to give him an angle? I
He
think he
parked
might.
The long,
He
which
parked
is what it was in practice.
Yeah. And honestly, a pretty safe play. Parking
Safe
the long
play.
will get you a 3 every time.
And here's Väinö. Looks like they had a little bit of a right to left instead of left to right. Good tree.
Amazing tree.
And a nice little roll right to it.
You love to see that.
It looks like they're trying to power up and make sure they're getting that distance and making sure they're safe. It looks like
AB
they're playing for birdie
AB
after
playing
par.
like AB does. Needs to get up. Needs to sit. Needs to sit. No way.
That looked like a captain rapper.
Yeah.
Jawbreaker captain rapper.
A captain rapper? Dude, I heard he'd be dropping
Rapper.
bars out here. AB just hanging a little wide trying to go for the park job. And he's going to pay the price here.
Absolutely wonderful upshot from Austin, trusting that
Very well
flick.
done.
And
AB's
here's AB.
opportunity for par still. Oh. Oh no. I relate.
Just
little too much at times.
Just frustration. There is a little bit of bad luck going on toward AB right now, and just
It's grueling out here. This game, even more than the physical game, taxes the mental. So whoever's got the strongest head game wins out here.
great birdie from Väinö, taking advantage of the fortunate break off that tree.
Yeah, 2 under through 7 is a great start.
He is playing absolutely wonderfully. Oh, look, Austin with another par.
He's doing his job.
He's doing what he needs to on this
Absolutely.
course.
I'm sure he's thinking right now, man, I wish I could get another birdie look here and there, but I am okay with taking pars.
And it seems like he's still getting birdie looks now and again.
Right.
But the
They're
one
long.
time he needed it, he needed to capitalize, he did.
Yep.
Hole 8, right about mid-pack in terms of difficulty. We have a par 3, 420 feet. This is an island green. If you are out of bounds, you go to a drop zone, which is the red tee, which is just short right from where we passed. This little middle section juts out and is right where your hyzers want to land. You have to be very intentional with where you want to swing it. There is a wide hyzer gap, and there is a low hyzer gap. Straight up the middle, forehand, backhand. It just depends what you're comfortable throwing and making sure you commit to that line.
Yes.
There are no big gaps off this tee.
Oh, not incredibly surprised to see that miss out of Väinö, but
Is he in
is he safe? I don't even know.
that? There's no way that's safe.
Felix has given us the nod.
That's in bounds?
He's in bounds.
There
That's
is
crazy.
no way.
Austin doing exactly what he needs to do.
And he has his lefty putt, so he's going to be going against the grain of that hill, so he might run it a little bit harder than a righty might.
We shall see.
We shall
Very
see.
scary putt regardless. if Brad doesn't go up the middle, yeah, this is just such a Bradley Williams shot.
And it's turning right to the fattest part of the island. It's
Oh,
got to
no.
sit, though.
No.
Excuse Brad's language there.
Okay, Brad.
It looks like Brad just had a bit of a roller coaster today. And AB absolutely going for a late swing.
I love that width. I love that width.
And look at that skip right
and I
to
love
15.
the skip. Great
That is
shot.
perfect.
He needed it.
How is Väinö in bounds? I thought this was an island.
I guess it's not an island.
But it has yellow stakes.
You would think it'd be an island. There's no way.
Hit.
There's no way that's inbounds.
So does he go to the drop zone now?
It's a great question. Felix is saying that he goes to the drop zone.
Väinö asked the exact same question on live coverage.
Bradley Williams with the approach. A little not
Good
it's-
little hop in?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fine. He's going to be okay. Not ideal, but he's going to be just fine.
Väinö throwing. I like this angle a little better.
Yes.
That pure hyzer swinging in.
Yeah.
Really playing into that
Yeah.
hillside.
It's really scary once the disc turns at all from there. And
Yeah.
Austin doing what Austin needs to do.
You were right. Not a hard run.
Why run it? He's under par and he's doing just fine.
He's doing just fine. Here's Brad for bogey.
Cleans it up.
Good cleanup. Do we have AB up next, or is Väinö going?
Yes.
It is now AB. That is a
That-
good bounce back.
Absolutely. Gaining almost 1.5 strokes on the field. This is such a good birdie.
Half a stroke. A quarter of a stroke on the field.
No, because it played .38 over par. So you got a 2. Yeah. Math. 1.38
yeah.
strokes
I
on
guess
the
so.
field.
You're right.
All right, the final hole on the front, hole 9, par 4, 684. Very tricky hole. You got this safe play out to the right, kind of where the drone is flying, and then the more aggressive play that lends you the birdie opportunity, which carries OB for roughly 430 to 440 feet, with the back wall being right around 500. Don't ask me how I know that. So here we go, and to nobody's surprise, AB playing the more aggressive left shot here.
Sounds like the wind is picking up just a little bit.
That's gotta go a lot
Is that gonna
fast.
be? Oh, good
my
tree kick.
Gosh,
Oh wow,
that is so lucky.
Yeah, it's lighting them around.
that is so good.
Väinö, we like that.
And so you will see some people go for that birdie look.
Not surprised to see Austin doing this, honestly. His round is going well right now, and he delivers a beautiful layup shot out to the right, and then from there he's just going to have 2 more chips up into the island green. Very tricky approach still.
There was a pretty ripping right to
Oh,
left,
no.
and so that, if it doesn't hit anything, is going to be
It's waterbound. That's-
waterbound.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, my dyed honor that is in there right now. I love that disc.
Hey, my favorite discs too, my brother. Oh boy, this is
Oh,
what
that might swing though with the wind. There it is.
he knows that he didn't throw it well though. That's not, you can't do that. But he gets away with one.
He gets away with one.
Similarly to AB, and Brad's sitting here right now like, I cannot believe that just happened. But here we go, Brad
Taking
high
it,
again.
but now he has a tailwind and he can swing that where he wants it to. That's just
very
fine.
very well executed. I was worried with the height after seeing the last one, but he delivers a good shot there.
Now he will have a little bit of a tricky low ceiling, high floor approach shot, while Austin might have a little bit better of a hyzer or turnover for him
Yeah.
around wide.
It's a good spot to be for Austin. He's just playing the hole for 4, and sometimes that's the right thing to do. Especially as a lefty, it's a tricky lefty hole for sure.
It is very tricky. And Väinö throwing a very overstable mid-range right to the middle.
Doing what he needs to do as well.
I think the reason you see more people not going for it is because this second shot still has this guardian that...
No way. That's crazy.
Has a guardian
That's
that
crazy.
catches a lot of shots.
That's crazy. He's inbounds, putting from probably 23 to 25 feet for his
After the
birdie.
meter, that needs to swing and sit.
And it does.
That's
Scary.
15 feet. Yeah, a little scary, but still safe.
The biggest worry here when you're stepping up to this approach shot is leaving it low.
That's going to be a little tricky. He does have a tailwind, though, which
Yeah.
means he might be able to get it up and down a little bit
Yeah.
better than if he had a headwind.
When you bring those bricks into play, you bring the OB into play.
There's
so
Brad throwing...
that's exactly
and-
what happens. Yeah.
And Brad continues his
Roller coaster of
absolutely roller coaster
Yeah.
round. He only has 2 pars, and it doesn't look like he's getting one here.
there. AB in by mere inches. Possibly less.
Probably less. I would love to see an angle of that. And here's AB for birdie.
It's a great get if you can get it.
This is one he probably feels like he has to capitalize on after a little bit of a roller coaster.
And all too often on those uphill putts, you see that spin putt leaking left, and as soon as it's left uphill on these baskets, it will not go in. So he knows it. He knows he didn't putt that super well. And par at the end of the day is still gaining strokes on the field.
And there's Brad.
Great
Absolutely
putt.
great putt for his double.
Athlete.
Very athletic. And that's a good putt after a rough hole.
And the rest of them are just, tapping in the
Tapping
pars. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's our front 9.
Yeah, some great shots. Pretty much what you're going to see out here. Very tough course. Austin playing the best round, and that's just kind of how it happens.
I think Austin is playing exactly how you need to. That's how I explained it. You got to just play it solid through that front 9.
Absolutely.
Looks like
And
Nico is absolutely killing it through
Yeah.
10.
Like I
KJ's
said,
playing solid.
Robert Burge killing it.
Thank you.
1 birdie and 1 bogey at this point for the man, and he's doing great.
So go now, subscribe to Run Productions, put on the notification, go follow on Instagram.
Yeah, they're putting great content out there, and just grateful to be a part of the coverage. Felix is pointing at me. He's
Go
saying,
follow Luke Taylor on Instagram and Facebook. Follow me at
Yeah.
RN Burge on Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook as well.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and until next time.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm
just
excited
catch
for
us
the
in the
back
back
nine.
nine. We're just ready.
We'll be right
yeah,
back.
Yeah. See you there.